All right, so welcome to the Rainmaker podcast, and today we have my man Damon Dillard on, and he is the CEO of TDT Financial. Welcome to the show, Damon.
What's going on, my guy?
Oh, not much, man. So we're just gonna hop right in because I'm excited about this. Been following you for a long time. We've missing each other. Got some mutual connections. And so I'm just grateful that we finally carved out a time today, even though things were kind of getting away from us. So I'm excited. So yeah, man, just go ahead and tell us where you're from and what you got going on. A little bit about TDT and how that's going and success that you're having, and just kind of share a little bit about you.
Yeah, 100%, man. First and foremost, man, I got to acknowledge you. I want to throw it right back to you real quick and just kind of thank you for inviting me onto your platform. I've been hearing your name. I've been seeing your work in the community over the last 6 months, and obviously it's been substantial. The lives that you're impacting right now go way beyond what you probably could imagine because I heard your name, right? So I'm loving it, man. I'm loving everything that I'm seeing. I honestly have a couple of people that I'm partnered with right now that are creating tremendous success because of the things that you're putting out there. So again, I'm excited. Hopefully over the next 30, 45 minutes, we provide value and just continue to impact lives, man.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for that, man. I appreciate you sharing that. So well, yeah, tell us a little bit about what you got going on, success that you're having with TDT. What do you guys got going on over there, man?
Yeah, 100%. So the first thing I'll say, you guys heard my name already, Damon Dillard. I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio. I like to tell people that I'm not as good as my results. Okay, like let's just put that out there real quick. A lot of people see my page. A lot of people see what's going on social media. First and foremost, I know who buttered and baked the bread, so I got to give all glory to God. What's been happening in our lives, honestly, over the last 7 years has been nothing short of a miracle. I think the greatest definition I've ever heard of a miracle is a change in perspective. And for me, my perspective changed when I ran into my mentor. I believe we learn in life two ways, very simple. We learn through mistakes or we learn through mentors. In other words, we learn through pain or we learn through people. So when it comes to a kid that was born in Cleveland, Ohio, a single mother, moved to Columbus, Ohio when I was 5, graduated high school with a 1.7 GPA. I didn't even know they offered credit consulting classes in high school, but they did for me so I could graduate. Did not graduate from college either. I think the only reason I went to college was to play basketball. I did graduate. I actually graduated as a sophomore. So, some of you guys will catch that on your way home. It did not come with a degree. All right, it did not come with a degree. I had a lot of start and stops in life. You know, I was one of those guys that was trying to do the get rich quick scheme, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. But I was just trying to figure out how to provide a lifestyle for my family that I never had a chance to enjoy when I was younger. Both my parents did everything that they possibly could do to take care of me, but there was always more month than money. We never had enough money to get the new things. You know what I mean? I didn't have enough money to get the new Jordans. I couldn't even get any felines. I used to have the jersey. I don't know if you guys remember when jerseys were really a big thing, but you know, I had the Jordan jersey, but mine said Bulls in 23, but nothing on the back. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have money for the rest of the jersey. So, but I always wanted to provide more. And so when I ended up hearing about the opportunity of the life insurance industry, I honestly didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know what life insurance was, really. I had a dream just like anybody else. And if you're an insurance agent watching this right now, I'd pose the question to you. When you were in the second grade, did you ever raise your hand when they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And say, I want to sell life insurance. I want to be a financial. No, nobody said that. We didn't even know what that was, right? I was the guy that raised his hand and said, I'm going to the NBA. You know, I was a huge fan of Penny Hardaway. I was a huge fan of Allen Iverson. And even though I'm vertically challenged, right, I'm only about 5'9", 5'10", nobody could tell me that I couldn't do it. So, you know, coming out of college, that was my dream, but I had tremendous responsibilities. I had already had 3 children. Now I was a little bit older coming out of college, so don't judge your boy. All right, don't judge your boy, right? 22, 3 kids. Oh my God, you was pretty active. Relax, okay. But anyway, had a girlfriend who was my wife to be as well, and I remember speaking to my mentor, and I want you guys to write this down if you get a chance, right? I believe that when God really wants to change something in your life, He doesn't come through the clouds as an audible voice. He doesn't call you on the phone and say, hey, this is the direction I want you to go in. I believe he speaks through people. Now, our job is to be discerning in who that person is. It's to have the wisdom to say, you know what? That's the direction I'm going to listen to. Because that voice is going to lead you one of two places, to poverty or to prosperity. And so I'm going through a workout. This is in 2014. I'm going through a workout, training to go to a showcase for basketball. And my mentor just asked me, he's like, man, I know you're visiting all these financial firms. Are you really passionate about being a financial advisor, or do you just want to make a lot of money? And I said, honestly, man, it's not even about making a lot of money. I need to make some money. I need to take care of my family. I was behind on my promises, behind on my bills. I'm making $9 an hour moving furniture. And I was just like, man, I need to change. And guys, what he said next changed my life forever. Now, we're going to talk about the pitfalls and challenges. This is going to be a real conversation. So don't think I'm going to say this and then automatically, oh, everything was perfect. No, that's not how it works. But what he said to me changed the direction of my life. It changed my perspective. He said, Damon, if you get your life insurance license, you will never have to worry about money in your life again. Now, for whatever reason, in that moment, bro, I just trusted his word. He was a reputable source. He was my mentor. I said, okay, cool. And so, you know, we'll get into some more details about what happened here in a second. But, you know, for me, got into the industry, and it's been a lot of fun. What we've really looked to do over company names or anything like that, because let's be honest, man, one thing that I tell people all the time, every company is going to tell you they got the best leads, they got the best products, they got the best leadership, right. Which I would never say we got the best, because not everyone wins that comes through our company. Do we have the best leadership? No, it's imperfect. Why? Because I am the leader, right? So we definitely ain't perfect. But what I can say is the difference that will happen in your life when you realize that you are the common denominator to the success you're going to create is there's a responsibility that you take on. And when you take on that responsibility, now you also have the opportunity to change the end result. And when I realized that, that's when everything changed in 2014.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of agents think it's leads, right? It's going over here, the IMO, it's the comp, it's all of these things. But the determining factor is you, right? It's your ability to get the job done. You keeping the promises to yourself every single day, consistency, right? And so let's talk about that. Keeping the promises to yourself, right? What are some things that you've seen over the years that have contributed to some success that you have, some things that you probably had to recognize in yourself that you knew when you looked in the mirror that you needed to change in order for things to change for you?
Yeah. Well, what I realized when I came into the business, honestly, man, is if I wanted to change my end result, I also needed to change the way I was looking about doing certain things, right? So if the end result that I was looking to change was income, I probably needed to look at the way I was going about creating income. What I tell people about this business, and really it's about entrepreneurship in general, man, which I think you can agree to this. Do you have any children?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So have you ever seen Snow White?
Yeah.
Okay. So I liken entrepreneurship to a part of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know if you remember the show, man, but obviously she had this mirror. It was a magical mirror, right? And she goes, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the finest of them all? And the mirror speaks back. Well, I believe when you get into entrepreneurship, and for me, when I got into entrepreneurship, what I did is I said, okay, I have desires for my life. There are things that I'm looking to create that would be different from the results of the people that have created that told me to do that way, right? I heard the 40-40-40 plan already. Work 40 hours a week for 40 years to eventually retire and try to survive off of 40% off of what wasn't making it before. I saw the end result of that lifestyle, and that's not what I wanted. So I said, oh, no. I remember watching MTV Cribs as a kid. I want to live in $1 million home. I want to drive in a Rolls Royce. I want my children to go to private schools. I want to work 2 or 3 days a week and still love what I'm doing, and at the same time have more than enough money. I wanted all these things. I wanted power. I wanted success. I wanted the beautiful wife. I wanted all that stuff. And so coming into the industry, what's crazy about entrepreneurship is there's no cap, right? They tell you can have whatever you can design this thing as big as you can dream. So imagine this. I'm going to that mirror and I'm telling that mirror, hey, this is everything I desire. Guess what the mirror said back to me? The mirror said, okay, Damon, I can give you all of that. But are you willing to work on your character? Are you willing to work on your integrity? Are you willing to become a better father, a better husband, a better mentor? Are you willing to work on your communication? Are you willing to develop new skills? Are you willing to work on your business acumen, your ability to sell, your ability to network? Are you willing to sustain and maintain and build new valuable relationships? It said, oh, okay, you want this? These are the areas you need to change. And I love how you said keeping the promises that you make to yourself, because really that's integrity, right? If I can't keep integrity with you, I'm definitely not keeping integrity with myself. People ask, okay, Damon, how did you become so successful? Well, because I remember being the person with no integrity. I remember being the guy that could do this really well, but my talent always was getting me somewhere where my character and integrity could not keep me. See, it's real easy to, especially if you're a final expense. Let's be honest. The sales cycle is very simple. I get to an old lady's house, old man's house, and I say, hey, you're probably going to pass away soon. You might want to get some insurance. They go, yeah, I do need insurance. I find something affordable. I walk away with a sale. Great. Anybody can do that. But can you maintain that book of business? Are you willing to keep your integrity? Are you willing to keep the promises you make to yourself? Everything we create is predicated on confidence. So guess what? I can't create confidence within myself if I can't trust me. Damon, give me an example. Arturo says, hey, bro, let's do a phone call at 8 o'clock. And I say, okay, cool. I jump on the line at 8:05. Most people are going to say, dang, that's not a big deal. You got on the line. You're still there. Yeah, but here's the problem. I lied. What do you mean you lied? No, I lied. I said my word was I'm going to be on the line at 8 o'clock. But if I didn't show up until 8:05, that means I lied. Now, even though Arturo may not have a problem with that, maybe he's like, nah, bro, it's cool. It's all good. Doesn't matter. Guess what? I can't escape my mind.
Yeah.
My mind counted that.
Yeah.
Now,
the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
How you do anything is how you do everything. So guess what happens with a lot of agents, bro? They'll make that mistake over and over and over in their life. How you do anything is how you do everything. Then they make a promise to themselves that, Mr. Johnson, this is my week, bro. I'm going to write 10K this week. Hey, this is my 6-figure month. But then your mind remembers, we don't trust you. So then you start to justify every excuse that keeps you stuck. And that's what I had to master in 2014 to get to where we are right now.
Nice. Yeah. And that reminds me, Jim Rohn has a quote where he says, in order for things to change, you have to change.
Period.
And then he also says, don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills, right?
That's right.
So that's the thing that you got to do is you got to kind of look in the mirror, be honest with yourself, and, make those changes. So those are great points. Let's back up a little bit because I think there's some things that you said in there that were impactful. And obviously over, since 2014, you learned those things on the way, right, to where you are now as a finished product. So take me back to back then. What were some challenges and things that you had to overcome? What was going on back then that got you from there to right now? How were you able to manage all of that?
My God, what wasn't challenging is probably the better question. Let's start with the licensing process. How many of you out there right now may still be going through your licensing process? Maybe you heard about Arturo and you're like, man, this business sounds really, really great, but I'm literally on my 3rd time trying to take this daggone test, and it's the hardest test I've ever taken in my life. Well, I was the guy that took 4 times to pass his licensing exam.
I took it 3 times.
You see what I'm saying? That was my first challenge. My second challenge was it took me 9 months to get my state license. because of background checks, because it took me 9 months to get my state license. So in that between time, keeping the vision and the hope that my mentor said, hey, I'll never have to worry about money again in this industry while I'm moving furniture for 2 men in a truck, while I'm working odds and ends jobs just to try to make it. Watch this. I get into the business. Here's the scariest thing that happened to me quickly. I created instant success. That's probably the worst thing that could ever happen to somebody.
Because now you think you made it. Now you think you got it all figured out. I'm going to repeat this next month. I'm good. I don't even need to know that much. This guy's been doing it for a long time. No, I can do him. I can do it, better than him in half the time. Yeah.
Listen, I came in. I was working for the state when I finally got my state license. And I was doing something for the Department of Finance. It was a cubicle job. I was making like $20 an hour. I ended up getting fired from that position a week before I started in insurance. And the crazy thing is I was bringing in maybe $3,000 a month doing that job. I've always been able to do this. So I figured out the concept quickly. I made $2,000 in my first week in the field. So I'm like, oh, that means I can work 1/3 of the time I was working before and create more income.
Right. And
I was really good. Like I learned the scripts and everything. But the one thing I did not develop yet was discipline. Like, so here's the tough thing. Like, if I'm speaking to somebody like you and I, bro, we just naturally have talent. We naturally have business acumen. We're articulate. We're charismatic. I've relied on my talent for so long. When I became an entrepreneur, write this down, y'all. I realized I cannot skip steps. You cannot skip your process. And that's what I was trying to do. So the challenges that I had, oh my God, can we talk about chargebacks? Listen, every deal that I sold, I got a chargeback on because I didn't understand the concept of the business. I was lacking in humility. So everything that my coaches and my mentors and my trainers and leaders were telling me to do, I was trying to figure out a way around it. I was trying to figure out who had the good leads. Hey, listen, he writing $30,000 a month. I need the leads he got. Hey, what county are you working? I need to work the county. I had to overcome myself. So what happened? I got my license April 2014. I like to tell people you got 2 different dates in this business. You have the date that you actually get contracted with the carriers, and then you have the date where you actually commit to the business. That's 2 totally different dates. For me, the date I committed to this business was January 9th of 2015. I was 3 months past doing my rent. I was 3 months past doing my utilities. I had a 92 Saturn that I was borrowing from my aunt that got repossessed because I couldn't give her $40 a week. I was not self-sufficient as a man. Life was in shambles. I was on my way out of the insurance business. Matter of fact, I was about to join another company. I won't even name the company I was with at that time, but the name of the company starts with the president. We'll just say that. So I was on my way out of that company, about to go to another company that made it easier for me. I remember my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time. She said, Damon, you never finish anything. You said that you would do this for 2 years and give it all you got. You're 6 months in, you're struggling, and you never finish anything. See, it's different when somebody really, really knows the real you and they say something like that. That hits different. This is what happened. The company was having a First Friday event. I went to the event with the intention of telling everybody I was out. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I sat down with a couple. I love them very, very much to this day. Sat down with a couple. And before I walked out, I literally, Arturo, I had just put my jacket on. I was literally walking out, and the wife grabs me. I need to talk to you. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to leave. She was like, listen, sit down. She said, Damon, you have more talent in your pinky than most of these guys have in their entire body. She said, the only reason you're struggling financially is because of your ego. And I was like, what you talking about? She was like, listen, 6 years ago, my husband and I were afraid to go to Walmart during the day because we had to buy things with the EBT card. 6 years ago, My husband and I used to have to go to the fire station to get toys for our children for Christmas. 6 years ago, we used to run an extension cord from our home to the home next door because we didn't have money for electricity, so we would steal it from our neighbors.
Wow.
6 years ago, we used to have to take the trash can from our house down the street so the trash man would take it because we didn't have money for that. She said we make well over $500,000 a year now. And the only thing that changed was we made a decision. She said, when are you going to make yours?
Wow. Well, that's amazing. And you mentioned mentors a whole bunch. So kind of walk me through those early years. Who were some people that were influential to contribute into you who you are now and getting you straight, but also believing in you, right? Inspiring you and challenging you to be your best.
Yeah. I love that question, man, because mentors is such a watered down phrase now, right? Especially with the digital age, bro. Everybody calls himself a mentor. Everybody's a business coach. There's a lot of coaches with no credentials, right? Listen, what have you built? That's what I'm asking all the time. So guys, I don't want you to think that your lack of mentorship is also an excuse for your lack of activity. I get a lot of people that say, well, I need the right mentor and then I can win. My first mentors were on something called YouTube University.
Jim Rohn was my digital mentor for sure.
Come on now, I know more about Jim Rohn,
Les Brown,
E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher,
yes,
Tony
sir.
Robbins, Claude Bristol, Napoleon Hill. I know more about them than they probably know about themselves because I've listened to them over and over and over. Now, I believe that the mentor and coach, I just want to define that real quick. Two totally different things. A mentor is somebody who pours their life's example into you. Your mentor is not your friend. A coach is somebody that's in your field of endeavor that's giving you the place to run. That's totally different. So my first real mentor that changed my life was David Monetier. I met David in 2013 at an opportunity meeting. And I remember because I was broke as a joke, broke with multiple O's. I'm sitting in this meeting. I got an oversized suit on. My shoes were Stacey Adams. I know you've never heard of them before because they don't really make them no more, right?
I had several pair growing up. I always got one pair every year, but that was just for Easter.
Yeah, exactly. They were a specialty. But I remember seeing him in this event, and I remember seeing him speaking. And honestly, I just saw a glimpse of what life could be like. But long story short, here's how he changed my life. I asked him a question afterwards, and it was a very ambitious question because he was making over $300,000 a month at the time. This is in 2013. Everybody else in the room was broke, including me. And I was like, listen, you're in an industry where not very many people make it. So how are you making this amount of money and not many other people are? And what he said was really what changed my life. He said, listen, Damon, there's no one in this room that believes the way that I do. Bro, I almost leaned in, expecting the rest of the answer, okay, tell me more. Let's get down to some strategy. And he was like, no one believes. I said, okay, what do I need to learn about believing? Because the word says, as a man believes in his heart, so is he. And so he told me to get into Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. He told me to read Claude Bristol, The Magic of Believing. And when I started to really, really dive deep into belief, that's why I no longer sell the industry. Because, listen, there's people that are on YouTube that are 9 years old making $20 million a year. There's people that create something called a fidget spinner that was a hit. So if the industry is what makes people rich, then now everybody thinks I got to choose the right industry. No. What Damon had to learn from his first mentor that changed his life was I had to learn how to believe. This is the last thing I'll say about this, bro. I'm not the smartest guy, by no means. There's a million insurance agents that know way more about insurance policies than I do. But how have we created the results that we've created? Belief. That's it.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's a huge part of it. So let's get into that. You guys are having so much success so fast. You know, what are you guys accomplishing over there? What are some goals and things that you guys have your sights set on? What are the special things that you guys are focusing on that set you all apart? Leadership, the type of folks y'all looking to partner with. What are you all building over there?
Yeah, impact. Man, everything starts with people first. At the end of the day, you want to build a business, you got to build relationships. You want to build a huge, huge business, you better build people, because it doesn't run without people at all. So the first thing that I tell people, anybody that I partner with personally, is at the end of the day, you do not work for me. I am not your manager. I am not your boss. I actually look at it the other way around. I work for you. It's my responsibility in the very beginning to make sure, A, I prove that you can trust me. B, that I give you the support and the tools that are necessary to create your success. So for me, it's been all about not manipulating people to get to do what I want them to do for my goals, but in fact, being organic and just simply asking them, how do you define success? Because if I can get you to figure out what success means to you, whether it's, hey, I want to make 50 grand a year, I want to make 500 grand a year, I want to be there for every one of my kids' games, and I can show you a plan to get that done simply, we win every single day. So at the end of the day, for me, it was impact. It was, okay, how many people can I help get what they want? Because then I'll never have to worry about what I want, as Jim Rome says. So our goals are simple, man. It's the amount of clients that we want to help create some type of financial freedom, create some type of financial literacy, help them make sure that when that time comes, their family isn't financially or emotionally devastated. That was number one. And then for our agents, how can we help them prosper? How can we make sure that at the end of the day, they are clear about what's about to be created in their lives over the next 90, 6 months, and the next 5 years? And that's how we've gotten to where we are right now.
Awesome. Yeah, well, definitely appreciate that. It's got me fired up. I'm excited. And just really enjoying all the nuggets that you're dropping on us. This is absolutely amazing. So there may be agents out there that are thinking about getting their license, interested, don't kind of know where to go, or agents that just got into business and kind of struggling and not sure if this is the right opportunity for them. What's one thing that you would kind of tell them, or what piece of advice would you want to lay on them to kind of open their eyes to see what type of opportunity it is being in the life insurance business from your perspective?
Yeah, I would tell them to understand the law. Like I would tell you to write that down first. Understand the law. What do I mean by that? For me, I practice principles. I don't really rely on what man says, because men are emotional, which means they're going to do what's right for them. But I believe that there's laws that govern the universe. Damon, what do you mean? Have you ever heard of the law of gravity? Everybody has. Gravity is a law. It's irrefutable. You can't lie about it, right? If you're at the top of this building, I throw you off, you're not going to float, you're not going to fly, you're going to fall. Doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, black, white, doesn't matter. It's irrefutable. Well, guess what? There's also a law to creating wealth. When I learned this, a lot changed for me. I felt a lot more freedom. I felt a lot more clarity. I felt a lot more control. Because if there's a law behind it, I can make this work in my favor. What is the law of creating wealth? Well, wealth, or your income, is going to be in direct correlation to the value that you bring the marketplace. What does that mean? Well, the first question is, well, how do I determine my value? 3 things. Very simple. Write this down. Number 1, what is the need for what you do? Well, you're in the insurance industry. Is there a need? Absolutely. There's a tremendous need. Why? Because nobody's going to get out alive. So it's one of the only things where I can go to any part of the United States and literally give someone a business card and say, hey, just real quick, my name's Damon. I'm a life insurance agent. If you don't mind me asking, do you have anything in place right now for your family? Simple question. Number two, what is your ability to do it? Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. Are you willing to become a professional at what you do? The problem most people have, Arturo, is they're not willing to put in the time to create the result they think they want. See, for me, my mentor told me something very simple. He said, you want to create crazy success? What are you willing to make sure your name is synonymous with? Help me out, Mr. Johnson. If I say the name Michael Jordan, what do you think of?
The GOAT.
The GOAT. What else do you think of?
Basketball.
Basketball. If I say Tiger Woods, what do you think of?
Golf.
There you go. If I say the word LeBron James, what do you think of?
Basketball.
Basketball. If I say Kevin Hart, what do you think of?
Comedy.
If I say Denzel Washington, what do you think of?
Movies.
So what you all need to ask yourself is, have you been in this industry long enough to where people say your name synonymous with an insurance policy? And if not, you haven't given yourself enough time. There's a book by Malcolm Gladwell. It's called Outliers. It says to become an expert in any field, you got to put in your 10,000 hours. So number two was, how well do you do what you do? Number three, how hard is it to replace you? Oh, Arturo, I'm struggling in the business. First of all, do you even know your presentation? If I come to you right now and say, no, you can't have a book out, we're in the middle of nowhere, you're on somebody's hood of their car, and they say, yes, give me the information. Can you say it? If you're on an elevator and somebody says something about life insurance, are you able to give them a 60-second spiel to invite them to do business with you? If not, you're not ready. So my encouragement to you would be, increase your value. Are you willing to put forth the time, the effort, and the energy to get paid like the professionals and experts in this industry?
Right.
So that's what we did. That's what we're doing. I know what your name is synonymous with. We might as well call you Money Man. You know what I'm
Don't do that.
Dude,
No, don't do that. You something else, man. And I appreciate that. You something else. But I think another thing you're referring to is a skill set, right? And so in order for you to get better, you got to do this a lot. You know, the most successful people hear the most no's, and a lot of agents say they're working, right? They say they're working leads. I had a guy on my channel that did 120,000 in the last 35 days, and he said there's no such thing as a bad lead. And it reminds me of that speech from Eric Thomas where he's like, how bad do you want it? When you want success as bad as you want to breathe, right? This gentleman writes $500,000 of premium every single year, and he dials the leads like he don't have gas in his car to get home, like he ate his last peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? He puts in the work. The man will call the lead 27 times until he gets the number that he promised himself that he would get. He doesn't go back until then. And so, you know, it's really about putting in the work every single day and the promises that we keep to ourselves. And so I'm glad that you mentioned all those things. And in closing, you know, there'll be thousands of agents that'll watch this, and there'll be something in it they heard that may have inspired them or motivated them, or they even had a realization of, maybe I need to get closer to this guy. Maybe it is something that he knows that I don't know. Maybe this thing about a mentor is what I'm missing. And they may be looking, you know, for something like that. Where's a place where they could reach out to you if they're watching this video and they're looking for a great opportunity?
Yeah, for sure, man. So this is the first interview that I'm doing with the release. So I imagine that when this go out, my product will have already been released. So this is what I'm going to encourage you guys to do. If you would like to contact me directly, all right, feel free to go to DamonPDillard.com. That's DAMON. Middle initial is P. Last name Dillard, DILLARD.com. There's more information on that site for you to work directly with me. Of course, you can always go to tdtfinancial.com if you are looking for a platform or an opportunity. But ultimately, Arturo, I really appreciate you allowing me to do this interview, because my purpose, I feel that my reason for living is to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people, whether they're in the insurance industry, whether they're out of the insurance industry. You said a buzzword for me, and that word is confidence. I was somebody that was very, very, very insecure. I was somebody that was very much so lacking in confidence for a really long time. And the bane of my existence is seeing people that are struggling in life, struggling in their relationships, struggling in their finances, or even their health. So, what I love about this business is it allows you to develop the confidence that will literally exude in every area of your life. So I'd love to connect with you guys. They call me the Elevated Income Coach. Feel free to go on that site. We'll give you more information about the Elevated Academy and see if you're a good fit for the program as well.
Awesome. Well, again, I'm definitely thankful and grateful that we were able to connect today. It's been a lot of insightful nuggets that people have been receiving over this last 30, 45 minutes. So I'm definitely excited about this. And so we'll get this posted as soon as possible. But again, man, thanks for spending that time with us and sharing that. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Bye.